Hello, to start with, I'm going to introduce the concept of forensic architecture. Forensic architecture is a critical investigate practice that treats building, landscapes, and urban environments as witness to political violence. It operates at the intersection of architecture, human rights, and many forensics, analyzing spatial and visual evidence such as satellite imagery, videos, sound recording, and structural traces to reconstruct events of state or military aggression. Its analyses are used to challenge official state narratives and to present alternative testimony in legal courts, international tribunal, and the public sphere. For this approach, forensic architecture position spatial analysis as tool of accountability, exposing forms of violence that are often denied, hidden, or erased. They are focused discuss investigating state violence, human rights violation, and environmental harm using spatial and architectural analysis. The research group emphasizes that architecture and space are not neutral backdrop. They contain walls, building, landscape, characteristics of event. Spatial reconstruction enables new kinds of testimony from witnessing by material traces for walls, shadow, and trajectories, and from survivor. Forensic architecture called this situated testimony. Overall, the caution that spatial modeling is not infallible and must be carefully validated. It is one component of the evidence process. Moreover, the investigation from 2024 reviews the systematic destruction of agricultural land, orchards, and greenhouse infrastructure in the Gaza Strip since the 7 October 2023 by Israel and frames this destruction as an act of ecocide, a deliberate assault of the environment and critical resources for survival. It built on earlier work by forensic architecture currenting embricial warfare and border zone agricultural clearance operation along the Gaza perimeter. Before the recent invasion, around 170 kilometers of Gaza's land, either 47% of the strip as agricultural. Using remote sensing data with both vegetation index and normalized difference vegetation index, they estimate that about 40 of land formerly used for food production has been destroyed as of early 2024. Over 2,000 agricultural cities, which include farms and greenhouses, have been identified as destroyed since October 2022, with Northern Gaza hit others since up to 90% of greenhouses destroyed in the early phase. Greenhouse, orchard, farmland are being overrated by military headquarters and expansion of buffer zone. For instance, the Abu Sufai family orchard in East Jabalia has documented via satellite imagery to have been cleared and substituted by road and military features. On 29 October 1948, Al-Dawayna has one of several Palestinian villages targeted during a military campaign by the newly established State of Israel aimed at dispossessing and ethnically cleansing Palestinians. This event formed part of the Nakba, the period from 1947 to 1949, during which over 500 Palestinian villages were depopulated and their residents killed or displaced in a deliberate Zionist effort to establish a Jewish majority state. By the time Israel declared statehood on 14 May 1948, half of the narrative Palestinians had already been forcibly hosted for their homes. Finally, for my case study on forensic architecture, I used three bibliographic references. The investigation about Northwest of Life, Israel Ecocide in Gaza 2023-2024. He focuses on the territory of the Gaza Strip from 7 October 2023 onward under the context of the ongoing conflict. It shifts the lens from immediate hard casualty to a more under-examined dimension, the destruction of agricultural land or called greenhouse vegetation. Besides, I use the conference support the struggle for Palestine and the architecture of settler colonialism. The conference explicitly focuses on what it calls the architecture of settler colonialism, exploring spatial, legal, physical, and cultural dimensions of the Zionist settler colonial project. Then I employed an article from Forensic Architecture. The investigation dealt on the massacre of the village of Ala Dayana on 29 October 1948 during the event of the Nakba.